So that's what Lucy looked like before. Lucy-sama! Where is Sonia? No, she's not here. You can probably find her in the courtyard. Oh, that scared me. Are we okay? Did we dress properly? I don't know what to say. What the hell did you do, Sonia-sama? By the way, Sonia-sama, when she came back from the human world the other day, she seemed to have a live human with her. Oh no, alive? Wouldn't that incur the wrath of the pro-human faction? No, even before that, if they're brought alive to the depths of the demon world like this, they'll never be able to return to the human world due to the effects of the miasma. Then could be, maybe that's how Lucy-sama found out? Well, I wonder what Sonia-sama is going to do with a human. Is she planning to turn them into a pet or something? Sonia. Lucy-sama, you've come home! Ah, I like Sonia here. I'm sorry, Sonia was preoccupied tending her garden. We decided that Sonia would be the first person to greet Lucy-sama back, but really... It doesn't matter, just look up, Sonia. I've heard that you've been to the human world with a few of your subordinates and that you've kidnapped humans. No, that's all well and good, but a succubus certainly has no rules when it comes to how to take the demon's souls that would otherwise corrupt humans. The question is, why is that person forced to lie on my bedroom floor? This must be your work, Sonia. Explain it to my satisfaction. Oh, you don't like it? In order to not be disrespectful to Lucy-sama, his spear was broken. But his energy and stamina are quite superior. Oh, don't tell me you've been to your room, Lucy. From now on, I'll do my best to get rid of the leftovers. That's not what I'm talking about, Sonia. I'm asking why you did it. The way I am now, what I think about people, it's not that you don't know, is it? Yes, I'm well aware of that. But, however, even so, Lucy-sama hasn't eaten a human in decades. It's true that even food in the human world can be converted into magic power to some extent and gain some spirit, but that's for other species. Lucy-sama, a succubus, a race that steals spirits from humans. If you keep going like this, it'll be bad for you. Sonia was... She just wants Lucy-sama to be healthy. Sonia. Lucy-sama! My noble and beautiful Rose, you don't have to look so sad for me. You can just be yourself and bloom. I'm always grateful for the way you feel about me. I wish I could give you what you want, but I can't. Ah, Lucy-sama! It's nothing. It's Sonia's happiness to serve by your side. I apologize for my unnecessary behavior. I'm sorry, but if it's too much for trouble for you, then I'll take care of the human. You don't need to. I'm not about to let your feelings get in the way of that. I'll take care of the person you brought here. You can go to your room and rest. Can you understand me, human? Uh, ah. The human man in front of me, his eyes unfocused and drooling, panting briefly in ecstasy. His gaze no longer showed any signs of recognition. It's like he's in a state where he's just waiting for his next pleasure. Sonia, she's been so thorough, so utterly destroyed that not a shred of his ego remains. With this, it doesn't matter what the miasma in the demon world does, he'll never be the same again. Uh, ah! He noticed our presence and began to squirm, his voice filled with awe and anticipation of the unknown. It's okay, don't be scared. You must have been scared being brought to a place like this, not knowing what to expect. Just relax. It'll all be over soon. Ah! 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 When my fingertips touched the man's cheek, it turned white from that area, then crumbled into ashes. From his expression, I can see that he has finished. His lower body is twitching, but his lower body has already turned to a mass of ash and is falling apart, spewing something sandy. The erosion quickly spread throughout the man's body and eventually transformed him completely into a lump of ash that used to be his body. I put my lips on the mouth of the lump of ash, but with a little pressure, the whole lump of ash fell apart. I knew it would only leave a sandy feeling in my mouth, but I couldn't help but try it again. Head maid? Yes, I'm here. You must have been familiar with the customs and habits of the humans, as well as their food culture. You know about burial in the human world, right? Yes, well, if only as a formality. Give this human's ashes a respectful burial. You may use any available space in the garden of the estate as you see fit. It's a pity we can't engrave his name on it, but at least after death, we should treat them with respect like human beings. As you wish. hate this body. It's a trait I've had since birth. When part of my body touches you, it will absorb all of your spirit, turning you into nothing but ash. I don't even feel a thing. The taste of human semen, the texture, the love of humans, everything about humans that other succubi can feel, I don't feel any of it. The fact that I can't feel the other person for the rest of my life is truly horrifying. This body, I truly hate it. So, this is called an omelet, I think? And I think it's even shinier than before. It tastes so good, too! Lucy-sama can really do anything! How would you know what a human meal tastes like? Even I don't know if this is what human food tastes like. It's a dish prepared by Lucy-sama. Even if I don't understand, it's bound to be delicious. Besides, this time Lucy-sama took the trouble to make 2 of them, one for Sonia. I'm so honored! I'm sorry to interrupt your meal, but Lucy-sama has a visitor. Who is it? It's the demon lord Lucifer. I heard that's an important matter that needs to be dealt with immediately. Lucifer? I didn't know we met him before EX4. It must be about the human. There's no need for you to deal with him, Lucy-sama. I'll take care of it myself and get rid of him. You're up against the evil Emperor Lucifer. Are you going to end up blowing up this castle, Sonia? I'll talk to him. Sonia, go to your room. It's my responsibility as ruler to keep my subordinates accountable. If that's the case, then I'll listen to them in person and protect you if the need arises. Lucy-sama! Rest assured, I'm not here to discuss that today. Ah, Lucy, you look as beautiful as ever tonight. As usual, you're only polite when you step into a place like this without waiting for my reply. Now, don't be so angry. I've already submitted a report to the council on Sonia's kidnapping of the human. From now on, Sonia will not be blamed by the Congress at all. Once it gets through, the other demon lords won't complain. I hope you excuse my rudeness. It was an urgent matter, after all. Huh? Oh, an omelet! I've heard that the White Witch has a taste for human cuisine, but I never thought she'd be this good at it. I'm a sucker for human food. So if you don't mind, I'd like to take a bite, Sonia. No! No! This is the omelet that Lucy made for Sonia! Hey! What are you doing with your hands? No! Absolutely no way! Sonia, if you'll excuse us, you can take that food back to your room, and I'll have the waiter bring mine if you need it. Apparently, this man, he wants to talk to me alone. Thank you for being so perceptive. So, that's how it is. Run along now, Sonia. Ugh! Well, it's tough having loyal subordinates. The human kidnapping was probably done by her for your own health, right? Well, it's true that tales of succubi who stopped attacking humans in the demon world never turns out well. Or does it? Were you really just gonna let yourself die? Are you that desperate? You're a succubus, but you can't feel your partner. You can't even feel your own body. It must be very boring for you. Is it urgent that I speak to you? The succubi should be the least likely species to be associated with the friendly demons like you. So why do you care about me? I myself am still a demon that sucks the spirit of humans, you know. I'm sure I'm a member of the contractualist race that you hate. No, you're a bit different. You're a kind of succubus, a gentler demon who doesn't yet know how to love. I've got some things to discuss with you today, but first, let's get the urgent stuff out of the way. Abaddon has taken on substance. Abaddon, the king of the abyss, has taken on form? So, is the world eating starting to happen? No, it's just a small-scale materialization, something that's not a big deal as of yet. I don't know where or when he got them, but he seems to be using two small dolls, materializing only his fingertips and opening his mouth only slightly. Just the tips of his fingers. I don't know why he's doing things so half-heartedly. I don't know. But what we've observed so far is a famine in a farming community, and with that, only one person has fallen into the abyss. That one person was, of course, Akane. But in the original timeline, the village was burned to the ground by bandits a month later, so the paradoxes involved aren't that big a deal. Gotta keep those paradoxes down, you don't want any apoptosis showing up. Don't you think it's strange that he hasn't observed even a millimeter of the chaos event, which is what he desires the most? I can't imagine that the annoying, ravenous black hole Abaddon would be so well behaved. Obviously, he is planning something. Planning, huh? So, what do you want me to do about it? Do you want me to help you defeat Abaddon or something? Me? No way! I'm not here to make trouble. I'm just here to tell you that story. The human world that this region of the demon world interferes with is the very world that Abaddon operates in. So that would have been useful information, wouldn't it? I've never even been to the human world, so thank you for taking the time. Oh? I hope you don't mind. Well then, let's move to another topic. This one's not urgent, but I'm sure you'll find it interesting. I have nothing more to say. I am not interested in humans as you are. Because of my constitution, I don't even know what human skin feels like, much less how to love one. What if that constitution were to disappear? Interesting music that's going on right now. And that's got her attention. Of course, it's not going to be easy. It'll be risky. It'll be dangerous. If you're not careful, you could lose your position, your magic, your allies, everything you built up in the demon world. Still, would you like to hear what I have to say? This position, this magic, this power, they're all things I wanted and all things I've achieved. If I lose them, I have no regrets. Rather, lately it's been the opposite. I'm even thinking of destroying myself if this situation will continue forever. I knew it. I knew I came to the right place. Don't worry. I exaggerated things a bit. I promise you that it's a reliable method. Not an absolute one. There are some risks involved. What can you do about my constitution to begin with? Even the most knowledgeable of goddesses immediately dismissed my body as being born with this constitution. Indeed, it can't be helped, since you're neither my subordinate nor my ward, and I'm merely a demon lord with a little too much power. But if it were a human, one who has the power to change theirs or your fate, perhaps they can. She is waiting for you in the waiting room at the entrance. When you're ready, you can come see me. Like I said, he's someone I trust. Like I said, they're someone I trust. I'm sure they'll do you a favor. Oh, we get to move around as this move, Lucy. Let's see, can we check her stats? We can! Damn! This Lucy thick! Look at those stats! What kind of skills? She can use all the magic. Passives. God of Fear energy drain. Can completely drain human opponents just by touching them, taking even their souls. She's got up to Giga Magic Booster. Succubus Perfection. Nullifies negative or abnormal status effects. Doubles duration of positive mental status effects. Succubus's Discerning Eyes. By having this skill, any opponent you fight will not be able to run away even by using items. All-round resistance. Reduce damage from all sources by 85%. Dang. All-round penetration. Nullifies all of your opponent's resistances. All damage done to opponents' weaknesses increases by 200%. So, yeah, she's going to take forever to beat, and if you have any weaknesses to exploit, it'll be triple damage. So, yeah, good thing we didn't have to fight Lucy. Let's see. Equip. Condemned Clothes. Lucy's highly revealing clothes that accentuate her body lines. Yet, its sensual looks have never been used for temptation. Oh, poor Lucy. I'm always amazed by your visits by Lucifer, the demon lord of the Friendship faction. Friendship faction. Demons who observe and watch for human potential, keeping contact with humans in the human world to a necessary minimum. Lucifer would rather avoid contact with a contractualist race such as the succubi, who are a representative of that race faction. But this isn't the first time he's visited you, is it? It's more like he comes in a friendly manner like that every time. Since we succubi have never had any contact with him, I'm having trouble dealing with him. I'm sure you're not the only one. But I don't know what the hell he's thinking, but this time there's more to it than that. What happened to Sonia? Yes, she's back in her room, and I brought her Lucy's cooking along with her. I've also been told to call her as soon as Lucy's guests are done. Well, I guess you didn't hear our conversation earlier. By the way, what kind of impression do you have of Sonia? Even in my absence, is she behaving properly and appropriately as my aide? Of course! Sonia-sama is a very caring person. Everyone loves her like a mother. It's just when it comes to Lucy-sama, she gets emotional. When it comes to Lucy-sama, she sometimes goes out of control. The other day, the maids who approached Lucy-sama's room were persistently asked about their business and scolded. We almost had to sacrifice a few of them. Sonia is a mix between an Alrune and a succubus, and as such, is a rather rare species in the demon world, and as such, she is a hated species in the demon world. Before she met me, she was oppressed by a certain demon lord, and because of that experience, she treats the poor and underprivileged as if they were her own, and does not want to hurt them. But there's a tendency for her to become somewhat overly dependent on me, which, as a person in power, is not a very good sign. Sonia will eventually have a single castle territory like I do now, and she will have to interact with the other demon lords and expand her influence and connections. Lucy-sama. Hey, I'm not sure about, but in our words, if she touches them, the other person will dry up and turn to ash, right? So then, before sucking them all up and turning them to ash, what if she gave them a big hug? Wouldn't she at least be able to feel their touch? My constitution increases its properties depending on the area touched. So if I hug them with both arms, the area touched will instantly turn to ash, and their body will end up like it did. Rather, it'll be just like a guillotine from the part I touch, which will split the opponent in half and increase the possibility of causing them pain. So what I can do is touch the end of a body part and nothing more, so that the person can feel the pleasure for as long as possible. I don't know how much of the sensation they actually feel, but it makes the person look happy as they fade away. Lucy, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to speak in such a manner. No, it's fine. As a succubus, it's normal for anyone to want to try different approaches to touch their partner. That includes me, you know? Aw, poor Lucy. The shortest way to the waiting room is down the hallway. Lucifer-sama has returned there. I heard that Lucifer brought a human with him. What kind of person were they? She looked like a normal human woman, but even from a distance, I could feel something strange. It's as if I can't detect any emotion from her. Like she's abandoned all her emotion elsewhere. I couldn't feel anything. I didn't see anything. She had such an atmosphere about her. I'm sorry. I can only give you a bit of an image. I can't give you any guidance myself. It's fine. It's enough that we succubi are skilled at reading our partner's emotions in order to effectively exploit them during sexual intercourse. But what kind of person could come this deep into the magical world and not be affected by the miasma? What kind of troublemakers did Lucifer bring with him? By the way, that human? It looked like she was using some kind of handheld machine to measure values in space. The miasma around the small machine disappeared, so perhaps that thing is nullifying the miasma. A machine that can nullify the miasma. So you're saying she's a human with technology to deal with demons and the demon world? A person brought here by a demon lord as powerful as Lucifer. I'm a little curious. It's gotta be, you know who, the leader of MOW. Yes, let's go to the waiting room. Oh, there she is. Mizuki-sama? This is Lucy-sama. You are... The person called Mizuki. Which, yeah, I also didn't know that be confirmed outside of EX4 that the leader of MOW is the redhead we meet in EX4. They're the same person. Following different timelines, to be sure, but still. The person called Mizuki immediately knelt down and deeply bowed to me. Even though she had come to a demon castle deep in the demon world, she seemed so calm that it was hard to believe she was human. It's a pleasure to meet you, Lucy-sama. Forgive me for allowing such a person to trespass on the territory of such a noble person as yourself. I've never seen anyone kneel before me with such a lack of hesitation or awe, let alone a human being visiting this castle. And unlike Lucifer, who is all talk, you seem to have some sense of propriety. I told you, didn't I? I said she's someone I can trust. Let me introduce you to Mizuki Takaoka, who belongs to an organization in the human world called MOW. She's been doing a lot of research lately on combining demon technology with human technology, and she's the CEO of an important project there. Demon and human technology? So does that mean that the device on your arm is one of the results of that? Yes, this is a device that nullifies the distractions of the demon world. It's an amplification of magic ore that dissipates magic power. It is thanks to my organization's technology that I'm able to come to the depths of the demon world like this. I see. I've read most of Lucifer's story too. In other words, if I offer you my body as a test subject, you will help me get rid of my constitution. Wow, Lucy, you think I'm some kind of plague, don't you? No, you wouldn't be a test subject. I'm sure you were planning to tell me in a more orderly and roundabout way, judging by your appearance. But I don't trust you either, so let's be more direct and concise. What makes you think you can change me? That you can change me into what you want me to be? How do you propose to prove it? Lucy-sama, please take my hand. With all due respect, please take my hand. Hey, Mizuki, I've told you many times about Lucy's constitution. Humans, even at the touch of a fingertip. I know, and that's why I want to prove it to her with her own eyes, that my story is not just a hoax. Here, give me your hand. Don't worry, I'll be fine. My fingertips touched the palm of the offered hand, but I didn't feel the usual sensation of sucking in energy. I don't see any change in the other person's hand either. The person who calls herself Mizuki didn't even flinch an eyebrow the moment she was touched, as if this was the most natural outcome. This is this also the effect of the device you have? No. This is something like my own constitution. but it's not something I was born with, like Lucy-sama. I joined MOW with my brother, and we were serious about the coexistence of humans and demons, even willing to use ourselves as test subjects. Even my body? Of course, there have been many failures, but this constitution is the result of my own research, my refusal to give up, and above all, it's the result of my persistence, my determination. I hope I've conveyed even a little bit of that to you. Oh, what a surprise! Mizuki, please don't surprise me like that. But the human potential never ceases to fascinate me. That we could even achieve such technology. Well, that's why I'm here, Lucy-sama, for you to talk to her about it. Frankly, I was bewildered, my fingertips never leaving her palm. The first time I felt the touch of human skin. I had almost given up on my dream, and now she's telling me that I can make it happen. I want to touch them more. I want to be like the other succubi, feeling them. A body that can be touched. I want to love a human. Please reconsider, Lucy-sama. Why are you doing this? Why did you suddenly decide to leave the castle? You're going to the human world with humans? Did that Lucifer say something to you? Don't be deceived, Lucy-sama! No, it's all my own choice. And that's why I'm leaving everything behind. Sonia, I'm transferring this territory to you. I'm sure Lucifer will be able to talk to the Wise Masters about the land contract. The Wise Masters, aren't those the Council of Humans that Kazuya ended up meeting in Neutral A? They have connections to MOW. Do they have connections over the demon world as well? I don't need a territory. As long as Lucy-sama is here, Sonia has no... Listen, Sonia. You already have the magic and the ability to become a lord. But if you continue to depend on me, you'll be throwing away your potential. Behind me, there is nothing. A succubus with a lot of experience in combat and fighting skills. It's the kind of person any demon lord would want within their inner circle. If the responsibilities of a lord are too much for you, don't rush into serving someone else. It's okay to take your time and become a great demon lord. Sonia, I'm sure you can do it. Lucy-sama! Get away from me, Sonia. You may be one of us, but if you touch me, you'll lose your energy. I don't mind being drained. If it's for Lucy-sama, I'll give you my body. Sonia doesn't want to be anyone's servant but Lucy-sama's. I don't even want to be a lord. When Lucy Sama laid eyes on her, didn't Sonia swear on her knees that she would be the rose that blooms only for you? Ever since that moment when you spoke such kind words to me, I was despised and oppressed for being a half-breed. Everything about Sonia belongs to you, Lucy Sama. Sonia, the witch's rose, I bloom only to be loved by you, and I stab only to protect you. To Lucy Sama, I want you to be revered and feared by all. I want you to be the flower of the high mountain that no one can touch. So, Lucy Sama, for Sonia, please don't leave her alone. I told you, Sonia. You have to bloom without me. I kept you by my side not only to love you myself, but because you were too good to rot in a place like that. You are the one who must be loved by all, who must have worthy allies, who must have lands, who must have subordinates, who must be feared and loved. Not me, whose hopes and aspirations as a demon have vanished, but you. I don't want to! If Lucy's I was going to know! What did you... It's a restriction spell. You will not be able to interfere with my interference into the human world. No one will be able to break the spell unless I dispel it myself. I put together a spell book that takes into account the possibility that you might say that, so you can interfere with the rest of the human world without any problems. That's awful! Consider me dead. Goodbye, Sonia. You will be a great lord. Lucy Sama! The flower of the high mountain. Sonia, I hate the flower of the high mountain that you want to love. I'll check the normal values of the material composition, ingredients, and magic power. All checks complete. We're done. You may remove the device. There's the Lucy we know. The entity's adherence rate is stable. The magic circulation power is also undisturbed. I've never seen it adapt so quickly before. Okay, from next time on, let's get started with the real-world tests, and arrange for one test subject from the police department. Yes, immediately. How do you feel, Lucy Sama? I honestly didn't think I'd be able to get my body to look the way I wanted it to. I thought I would be treated like a guinea pig and modified more severely than biological weapons, but this organization is surprisingly gentle. You don't call them by their names, do you? Iron Maiden, huh? You have formally become our bioweapon for attacking certain men. But to me, you are no different than Lucy-sama. Or would it be more convenient for me to call you by that name? Yes, if possible. I'd like to save that name for someone who will make love to me in the future. Until then, I'm the merciless Iron Maiden. Please let me wear the mask of being your bioweapon. As you wish. It's a failure, isn't it? No matter how much it changes, it's still my body. I still can't feel the touch anyone. Is it so bad that you have to hide it? I'm sure you'll be happy to know I'm not the only one. I need you to be honest with me, so I can continue to cooperate with you. If it's just normal activities, there's no problem. Your magic power, your ability to teleport, your warding techniques, and your spell bindings. You'll have no trouble with magic up to an intermediate level. However, your magic power is so enormous. The body we prepared can't withstand such a large amount, and there's a risk of it exploding. You can only use the highest level of magic stability of magic one time at most. Even after using it, the body's rate of adherence will be unstable, which may interfere with other activities. So you're saying my strongest shot is one that kills me? I'm sorry. I'm just not... Why are you apologizing? You made me into the ideal person I am now. A body that can touch humans plenty, with organs to exploit them and encompass them all over so I can love them forever. I'm rather grateful to you. And I'm relieved to know that you'll still treat me the same way, even in this form. If you had lied to me even a bit, I would have had to reconsider my cooperation with you. I need you to do one thing for me, if you don't mind. If it's something I can, I will. That project you were talking about. It'll be a long time before I attack the target man in that project, won't it? I want to save these first feelings. These feelings that made me want to be this way. I'm sure he'll do everything he can to resist being the bait that turns the weapon on me in order to survive. And I want to do everything I can to meet him. So, let me sleep for a little while so I can meet him. Until then, I don't want to meet anyone. As you wish, Iron Maiden. I want you to put E001 to sleep. Let her sleep until the plan for the E numbers is active and ready to go. But E001 has yet to be field tested. I don't care. You have to respect her wishes first and foremost, and that's an order from the one in charge. It's obvious to everyone that she is capable of operating as a weapon. It's our responsibility to provide her with what she truly desires. And it's our responsibility to use them. Time goes by. I'm sorry, Sonia. I couldn't bring this Lucy back. I couldn't bring her back. Now this is must be right after. If you marry Iron Maiden, you get to see a scene where Succubi come to try and take her back. This must be what happens immediately after that. But Lucy-sama's will is firm. She already has a life in the human world. With a human, she looks so happy. Ah! And she's gone. Wow. The inside's even more disgusting than the outside. Why don't you do a little cleaning, Sonia? However, the main maids were eaten by you early on, weren't they? Oh dear, oh dear. From the looks of it, it seems that the information has already been passed to you without me coming to tell you. Lucy was reincarnated as the embodiment of a certain human, and she is living in the human world in harmony with him. She has achieved a great deal of happiness. And yet, you still want to bring her back? What is it that you want to do when you interrupt Lucy's peaceful life? What do you want to do after you bring Lucy here? To kill that human. It's not possible for Lucy-sama to be the embodiment of a human being. It's a mistake that needs to be corrected. Don't you agree? She's gone completely cuckoo. Someone who is full of mistakes like that must be eliminated. I will not forgive him pleasure. I will kill him while making him regret he was born a man. I won't kill him right away. I'll make him crazy and scream and apologize over and over again for defiling Lucy-sama. I'll make him get into his head for years that he's a worm. If I do that, then maybe Lucy-sama will come to her senses. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. Oh, that eye. Oh, Lucy-sama, please wait. Sonia will help you soon. You're just being misled by humans right now. You're mine alone. Sonia's only. Lucy-sama. 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 Cuckoo. Cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. Hang on. Really? Loyal subordinates are so difficult to deal with. Right, Lucy? I imagine that's something we'll have to deal with in Shrift 2.